This video was shot at the 2017 Global Gaming Expo in Las Vegas, which is the world's largest trade show for the casino gaming industry. Each year, the world's largest slot manufacturers show off all of their newest games, and in this video, we interview one of those manufacturers for details on their newest products.
All right, so I'm here with Blaine Graboyes, the CEO of GameCo Gaming, and you guys are the first people to have skill-based slot machines out, is that right?
Yeah, we were the first company to launch our video game gambling machines just about a year ago in New Jersey. We've since expanded to a number of jurisdictions in the U.S. and internationally, and here showing new games, new products, and new features to our platform.
All right, perfect. And we were here last year, and we saw, what was it? It was Danger Zone?
Danger Arena was our first game, first skill-based game approved by North American regulators.
All right, yeah, I saw that last year. That one was pretty cool. And this year you've got a new one with Steve Aoki, is it? What's the name of that one?
Steve Aoki's Neon Dream. It's a really cool game. It uses the music from Steve's Dim Mak label, and it's what's called an infinite runner game. So you're on a track flying through a transcendental space world, collecting gold records and tiles while you're jamming out to tunes from Steve's label.
All right, that sounds great. And you've also got, it's a Terminator 2 one as well, isn't it?
We are, yeah. We're showing our Terminator 2 first-person action game. It's set in the Terminator universe, and you're battling T-800 robots.
All right, perfect. Can we go check them out?
I'd love to. Thanks.
All right, let's go see them. All right, Blaine, so we're over here at Steve Aoki's Neon Dream, and you want to give us a run-through of this real quick?
Sure. This is our video game gambling platform, and this is the Steve Aoki Neon Dream game. As I mentioned earlier, it's a infinite runner game where you're listening to tracks from Steve Aoki's Dim Mak label, and you're flying through a transcendental track collecting gold records and tiles. So the way our platform works is you have different betting options. You can bet from $2 to $20 per game, and as you bet a larger amount, it unlocks the option to get into larger progressives as well, up to a max or mega progressive. So every time I start the game, I'm going to go through a quick tutorial so that players know how to play. So in this case, it's telling me to use the joystick to collect gold records and tiles, and I want to avoid the red barriers. So very simple game to play, but really fun and engaging. So now a game is going to start, and I want to reach different point thresholds to get different multipliers to win money. So in this game, I have 60 seconds to collect as many points as possible. So let's see how I do.
And that's where the skill base comes in, right? You have to be better at collecting the coins?
Absolutely. At this point, the game is 100% skill-based, and it's completely up to my ability to collect the most points as possible to get the highest possible payout.
And now, if I understand this correctly, it's always different. It's still use a random number generator like a regular slot machine, but that just randomly generates the levels, and each level has a certain number of coins, correct?
That is very correct. So our games do use an RNG. I'm about to win a big jackpot, so I just hit a jackpot in the game. The jackpots are random as well, but as you mentioned, the games do have a random number generator, and that chooses the amount and layout of the coins and tiles. And I like to say it's a lot like poker or blackjack. There's a random element to poker and blackjack, which is the deal of the cards, and then it's completely up to the player's skill to perform as well as possible. In our games, there is a random number generator that builds the map or chooses the play field, and then it's completely up to the player's skill to achieve the highest score possible.
Okay, so for instance, on this machine here, you've got to get a score of 500 or more to get the highest payback, correct?
Correct. So I just won 416 points. That's more than 400. I won 2.5 times my bet, but I also was very lucky, and I won the progressive jackpot.
And then so we have the percentages up here, right? The 71% and the 29%. So even like you won't necessarily always get a game that even if you played it perfectly, you couldn't get 500 points. Is that correct?
Exactly. Again, like poker or blackjack, sometimes you get a good deal, sometimes it's not as good, and then it's up to your skill to play. You can't win a royal flush every time. You don't get blackjack every time. But we love the idea of showing the pay table odds to all of the players What we find is that gamers are a very technically savvy audience, and so we want to give them as much information as possible about how the games work.
Yeah, the payback up there looks a lot more straightforward than a pay table on a slot machine. It looks nice and simple.
That was one of the things that we found, is that gamers didn't necessarily understand how the slot machines worked, and so we wanted to make a proposition that was very easy to understand for the gamers.
So is there, like, if this is your first, so you can, on this one, the way it's set up now, you can bet, what is it, $2, $3, $5, up to $20? Is there a, like, if this is your first time playing and you're terrible at it, is there a, like, handicap, like a skill curve at all, or you would just have to bet the minimum until you figure it out?
So there isn't what you were calling a skill curve, or what we might call adaptive games. We do give every player a tutorial at the beginning so that they can practice. But the GLI standards under which we build our games are randomly, every gameplay is random and independent of all past and future gameplays. So there isn't really the ability under the gaming standards to have this idea of it's easier and gets harder over time. That also presents some really challenging game design issues that we are exploring, but right now the way our games work is very similar to electronic poker or blackjack. Every deal of the cards, every map, every gameplay is independent of past and future games.
All right, well, this looked pretty cool, so now can we go check out the Terminator one?
Sure, glad to.
All right, so now we're here over at the Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and what's the deal with this one? I didn't see this one earlier, so can you explain this one to me?
So this is another one of our newest games, Terminator 2, based in the Terminator universe, and the proposition is very similar to our other games. You'll see the pay table and the progressives are very similar. However, this game uses a Xbox-style controller. So if you're a gamer that loves console games or PC games, this is definitely for you. Another thing that's really interesting is, as I bet larger amounts, I'm unlocking more powerful weapons to take out T-800 robots. So once I choose play, it takes me into a map in the Terminator universe. I'm playing as a T-1000 robot, taking out T-800 robots to save humanity. So very similar to the theme of the Terminator movies. And now I have 60 seconds to take out as many Terminators as possible. Some of the Terminators have power cores inside of them, and I collect those power cores to get the highest payout. And you'll see as I collect them, it shows my payout on the pay table.
Now, I know if you're playing consoles, some people like to play inverted and some people like to play regular. Can you switch that up before you play?
We do have the option to invert your controls and a number of other features that are very typical to console games. There's also a really cool melee feature in the game that was asked for by gamers. So because I'm a T-1000, I have that metal sword arm, and I can take out the T-800 robots.
Oh, perfect, just like in the movie. So, yeah, it seems like if you like to play Xbox or any console games, you should catch on pretty quick to this, right?
Absolutely. So in this case, I took out 8 T-800s. I won 2.5 times my bet.
All right, we have time for one more? Or?
Yeah, please.
All right, what else you got for us? All right, so what's this one's called Nothin But Net?
So this is Nothin But Net, and it's showing our new multiplayer challenge system. So that's a feature of our GameCo VGM platform that takes our Class 3 single-player games and now makes them multiplayer, head-to-head competitive. So I'm playing against Vanessa, who's a professional gamer, and so I could choose to play single-player, but if I choose multiplayer, I now make a $20 bet. Vanessa joins as well. And now we're going to compete head-to-head. We each get 12 shots to score the most points possible, and the winner takes the pot, and the casino takes a rake. So this is a really cool way to bring multiplayer competitive games to the casino floor, similar to poker or blackjack. It's also very similar to esports, where players are competing on teams or individually to get the most points possible and beat other players.
So it gets a nice competition going, right?
It does get a really nice competition going, and one thing that's really cool is if we happen to tie, the game then goes into a sudden death overtime where the first player to miss a shot loses.
And is this the same one as the other one where it's a 60-second timer, or this one's a little different?
This is a little different in that you get 12 shots. Vanessa was a little better than me. She got 284 points, so she won the pot, and the casino took a rake.
Oh, okay, so that in that sense it works kind of like a poker table?
Exactly. And what's really cool about this is what we call a platform feature at GameCo. So once we build it into the platform, it works with other games on our platform. So it means that our games can go from being single player to multiplayer right on the casino floor.
All right, perfect. Well, Blaine Graboyes, it was nice talking to you. And if somebody wants to play these games, are they available in casinos now, and where would they find those?
They are. We're live in New Jersey, Connecticut, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Caribbean, Chile, and new properties coming online every week.
All right, thank you very much.
Don't forget that you can see more of our educational gambling videos on our YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/American Casino Guide.